Hello, welcome everyone. Thank you so much for joining the webinar. It's right about time, but I think let's wait for another 2 minutes because I can see more people joining. Um, let's start in just 2 minutes. Hello, everyone. I can see more people joining in. Meanwhile, please share a thumbs up on the chat if I'm audible properly to you. If not, please let us know so that we can check at our end. Okay. Sheikh, screen I'm yet to share. I will just give a quick introduction and then I will begin to share my screen. All right, we've waited for some time and I think we have some more people joining in, but now it's time that we begin. So first of all, I would like to thank all of you for taking out time and joining the webinar with me. Um, a lot of you who have joined here may know me already because I may be your account manager. But for anybody who does not know me yet, my name is Gauri Kulkarni and I am working with the customer success team of Scalefusion. I will be conducting a webinar on zero touch enrollment for Android devices today. Uh, quick rules. um, there's no way that we can interact here. Only I'll be the speaker, but you do have a chat box and a question box at the bottom right corner. I would request you all to please park your questions because we will have an allotted time for the question and answer round. There might be questions which may remain unanswered by the end of this webinar. Could be because of the time limit, or could be because I may not know the answer right now if it's a little on the technical side. Um, but be rest assured that all your questions are going to be noted and you will get a response to it in this week, either from my end or your account manager will reach out to you to clarify all your queries regarding this particular topic. Um, all right, I am now trying to share my screen. Just give me one moment. All right. We're about to begin the webinar, and In the meantime, I may not have I'll basically be here presenting and talking about the topic. In between, if you're sending any questions, or if there are any chats that I have not looked at, please have some patience. I will keep switching my screen in between to check if there are any messages from your end, but it will be at a few intervals. I will take few short breaks so that I can go back quickly to the tool and check if there are any messages from your end. So I have done with the introduction that I'll be doing a webinar on zero touch enrollment, and I've given you all my introduction. The first thing that I would like to understand from you all is, why exactly do you want to know about zero touch enrollment on Android devices? Is it because you're just curious, or is it because you have, you know, devices that are foreseen that you would want to deploy, and you think the best way to go about it is zero touch enrollment? You will have a poll that you can see in the poll section. It will pop up on your screen probably. So just select your answers and I'll give it 2 minutes. All right. Okay, I'm glad to know that you're here so that you can understand how you can deploy your devices using zero touch enrollment method. So let me begin. The flow or the agenda of this webinar would be, I would first explain you, read through the content that I have created, which is simple to understand, where I'll be uh, sharing my sharing an understanding on the zero touch enrollment. What is zero touch enrollment? What is the flow? What are the prerequisites? What are the benefits of zero touch enrollment? How do we set up zero touch setup for organizations, and how does it work? Once I'm done with this, we will have good amount of time where we will do a question and answer round, where you will type your questions in the question section, which is again on the bottom right corner of the tool. So let me begin with explaining you all what zero touch enrollment is. Zero touch enrollment is a streamlined process for Android devices to be provisioned for enterprise management. On the first boot, devices check to see if they have been assigned an enterprise configuration. If so, the device initiates the fully managed device provisioning method and downloads the correct device policy controller app, which then completes setup of the managed device. Android Zero Touch Enrollment offers a seamless deployment method for corporate owned Android devices, making large scale rollouts fast, easy, and secure for organizations, IT, and employees. Zero Touch makes it simple to configure devices online and have them shipped with enforced management, so employees can open the box and get started. So I think that's pretty easy, and it's quite it says that zero touch enrollment is basically a hassle free method to have a bulk amount of devices that you can enroll using this process, where a lot of manual intervention is taken away. If I have to speak about zero touch enrollment, it can be done for n number of devices. It can be done for 10 or 10,000 Android devices. There is absolutely no limit on how many devices you can enroll using this method. Zero touch is supported on Android 9 and above. I will have a little bit of more details about this in my upcoming slide. The setup is definitely easy and it's hassle free. The involvement of how do you handle everything is that you will have a zero touch enrollment dashboard or a portal. You will have a Scalefusion dashboard on which you will make configurations, you will create configurations, and you will use few configurations and settings to integrate both the dashboards. Devices remain linked to the management even after reboot and restart. I think this is one of the major USPs of having your devices enrolled using this method, is that even after restart, reboot, the devices still remain linked to the management. Devices are linked to organization as soon as they are switched on by the employees. Basically, all the setup, all the settings are done before the device is handed over to the employee. When the device switches on, the device, it's already linked to a management policies and restrictions. The only thing that the employee has to follow are is taking few permissions, and that's it, and they're home. The zero touch enrollment flow goes this way. The first thing that has to be done is the purchase has to be made. Purchase devices for deployment from a zero touch carrier or a reseller. The next step is to assign. A list of devices will show up in your ZTE dashboard, zero touch enrollment dashboard. The next thing comes is the configuration. Configure your enterprise mobility management policies to meet your organization's needs. The next thing that you will have to do is integrate. Integrate zero touch enrollment dashboard with Scalefusion dashboard. And the final and the last step would be deploying the devices. Devices will automatically enroll with EMM and apply policies when they are powered on. To speak a little bit about the prerequisites, things that you will need to have this setup in place: a paid Scalefusion account, a device running Android Pie 9.0 or later, a compatible device running Android Oreo 8.0, or a Pixel phone with Android Nougat 7.0 purchased from a reseller partner. I can share the links with you later on if you need it separately. I do have it in the presentation. You all will receive the recordings as well. But do send in your request for the reseller partner links to your account managers, or you can always write to success@scalefusion.com if you do not have the access to this link. An enterprise mobility management provider supporting fully managed devices. A zero touch account created by an authorized zero touch reseller partner. Devices eligible for zero touch enrollment need to be purchased directly from an enterprise reseller or Google partner and not through a consumer store. Reseller partners are listed in the Android Enterprise Solutions directory. Again, all the links are available with all your account managers. Please feel free to reach out to them in case you do not have access to these links. We're happy to provide you with those. Talking about benefits of zero touch enrollment, there are a few. Um, the first one and the first one that comes simply to your mind is simplified device provisioning. Generally, when you are enrolling few devices from the organization, there are a lot of steps that you have to perform. Definitely, there is an initial setup also involved in the zero touch enrollment, but again, that's a one-time setup. Once that is done, all you have to do is apply a configuration to a device and hand it over to the end user or the employee. Simplified device provisioning. Zero touch enrollment allows IT to deploy corporate owned devices in bulk without having to manually set up each device. Users just open the box and start using the device with management, apps and configurations all set. The next benefit would be enforced management. IT can enforce management out of the box with the managing app automatically installed on setup. Customers can use their preferred enterprise mobility management to set policies and manage apps on the device. To give you more details about the points that we have discussed in the previous slide, by enforced security and control for organizations, what do you mean? We mean that people who are enrolling their devices using zero touch enrollment are able to manage fleets of devices with enforced management and security to protect your brand. Enforce security policy and restrictions, ensure devices remain registered and re-enroll after factory reset. Growing platform simple and flexible for IT. Taking advantage of expanding device choice as the Android wide program grows to include more and different devices. Create device configurations in the cloud and have them automatically pushed to devices during the setup. Increase productivity for users. How? Create a win win for your IT team and employees by freeing up your help desk and getting employees productive faster. Customize each device to give your users the configurations, security, and apps your business needs. Enable employees to self enroll during a simple setup process on the device without IT assistance. Automate inventory management input. I'm just taking a quick 2 minutes break to see if there are any chats or questions. All right. It seems that we're going good. I'm just going back, jump on the slide. All right. So I have explained you everything regarding the zero touch enrollment. What does it mean? What are the benefits? What are the prerequisites of having this zero touch enrollment set up for your organizations? The next thing that I'm going to cover as much as possible, I have tried to cover as much as possible in the upcoming slides. This will include the process or steps to be followed on the dashboard. As I have mentioned before, there are two dashboards that are involved. One is a Scalefusion dashboard, and one is a zero touch enrollment portal. Steps to be followed on the Scalefusion dashboard would be: first thing to do is, of course, view sign into the Scalefusion dashboard. Complete the Android enterprise setup. We will have screenshots in the following slides. Let me just read it out to you and explain you what exactly you have to do. Create a device profile for your zero touch devices. This is similar to the creating a profile for your devices that you've enrolled by other methods. So this is nothing different. You just have to create a device profile according to your business needs, according to the policies and restrictions that you are willing to apply on these devices. Create a device enrollment configuration, which is a QR code. This is again, this step is same as we do in the regular process. We create a QR code, which is then scanned by the device to get it enrolled. The next step, navigate to getting started and then Android Enterprise Setup. This is where you basically configure your Android zero touch enrollment. And the next step is to click on the Android Zero Touch and Samsung KME Setup tab and create configuration. The configuration that is created here, basically you need to copy the payload that gets generated, which has to be pasted in the Zero Touch enrollment portal. I'm just going to show it to you in the screenshots. The screen that you see right now is the Android Zero Touch setup on the Scalefusion dashboard. If you see, we are on the Getting Started tab, and we have then clicked on Android Enterprise Setup. We have then clicked on Android Zero Touch Setup. This is the one, Android Zero Touch Enrollment, the one that's highlighted. You just click on Create Configuration. This page will take you here. A new configuration will be created. You will have to name the configuration, and you will have to select the QR code that you have created, which was mapped to the device profile. So the one that I'm talking about, the device name and the QR code configurations. This will be linked to the Android Zero Touch configuration that we are creating on the Scalefusion dashboard. The code that you see here is the payload that's created by the Scalefusion dashboard, which later we need to use on the Zero Touch enrollment portal. For now, the Scalefusion dashboard, we are here done. You can always check out the learn next steps and complete setup options. You will have more information. There is a video that you can look out for when you're actually going to perform the setup. Coming to the Zero Touch portal, how does it look? This is how it will look when you sign into it for the very first time. You will have certain options on the left hand side menu, and you will have a blank page. Right now we have a configuration that's created because this was a demo dashboard. Basically, when you sign into the Zero Touch portal, you need to click on the configurations, the one that's highlighted on the left hand side menu. Once done, click on the plus that you see here in the right hand side of this tab. I hope all can see my cursor, but I'm just moving it around the plus. The next page that will appear to you is this, the configurations page. This is an important page. This is where you are going to integrate Scalefusion dashboard with the Zero Touch portal. So once you sign into the Zero Touch portal, click on the configurations tab on the sidebar and then click on the plus symbol as I have explained to you in the previous slide. The configuration creator in Zero Touch portal offers you the settings mentioned below. Once you have filled in all the fields, click add to add the configuration. The fields that you're going to have to fill up are configuration name. You can have this configuration name based on the project that you have these devices deployed for. If there's a particular team, or it's for a I don't know. This could be multiple configurations that you create. This could be, say, for example, the sales team or the on-field team, etc. It could be kept something that you will remember that which devices are actually mapped to this configuration. The next option is EMM-DPC. Here you need to select Scalefusion Pro, MDM, and Kiosk lockdown agent from the drop-down menu. The DPC extras. This is where you need to paste the payload that was generated on the Scalefusion dashboard during creating the configuration there. You just have to copy the payload and paste it here in the DPC extras field. The next field is company name. Enter your company name. The next field is support email address. Please enter the support email address that is used by your company. Please note that this email address will be showcased on the end user's device when they are trying to power on and sign in. They will not be able to click on this email address, so make sure it's short so that they can note it down maybe somewhere else and they can reach out in case they require. The support phone number also will just be displayed on the screen. It will not have a button that will take them to the call function. The custom message, this is where you can choose to explain the end users what exactly is happening. um, you can just mention to them that this is managed by, that it's managed by the organization's policies and restrictions, and this is the further steps. Or you can just mention a welcome message, or I mean, it's completely optional. It's a custom message that you can type according to your business needs. The next step, which means by now we have integrated the Scalefusion dashboard and the Zero Touch portal. The configuration is created in the Zero Touch portal, which is directly linked to the Scalefusion configuration, which is directly linked to the device profile and policies that you've created. In the Zero Touch portal, right on the left hand side menu, you will see an option called as devices. When you click on devices tab, you will see the list of the devices that you've purchased from the reseller partner. And this is the place where you will need to assign the configuration. Each device will have a drop down menu. If you see, the first column here you see is the device IMEI or the device detail, as whatever you choose and you've decided with the reseller partner. The middle column is the configuration part, where you will see a drop down menu. Why there's a drop down menu? Because you are eligible to create as many configurations as you need. Since a lot of customers may have thousands and 5,000s and 10,000s of devices, which could be for different roles and responsibilities. Hence, you are eligible to create as many configurations as you want, and hence the drop down menu, select the appropriate configuration for the particular device. The next window that will pop up is whether you would want to update this device with this configuration, just say update. This portion, it completes the steps on Zero Touch portal. This is the time when, if you power on this particular device, it will take you to a device which is managed by your organization. What do you see on the Zero Touch device? Once you power on the device that has a Zero Touch configuration assigned as described above, it will download the Scalefusion Android client and enroll into Scalefusion. Users would see the Scalefusion permission screen, and once the permissions are given, the device will be locked to Scalefusion home screen. That is the end of single device being enrolled with the zero touch enrollment method. It's time for poll time again. My next question to all of you who have joined here with me, I hope whatever I've explained was was understandable. If not, like I've always said, you can write to us on success@scalefusion.com. Right now, my poll is: would you like your account manager to connect with you for the zero touch enrollment and deployment? You will see this poll in the poll option. Please go ahead and submit your votes. All right. I see few votes coming in for the account managers to reach out to you. Please take yourself to the poll column, poll field, and please submit your votes whether you would like your account manager to reach out to you for the zero touch enrollment and deployment. I see there are a few questions coming. I'm noting them, and I will soon be here to answer your questions. All right. You all can send your questions in the questions tab. Although I can see there are a few customers who have shared their questions on the chat box. Um, okay, I have one question. If I use an Android device that has a paid Scalefusion license but may not be partner, will ZTE work on that device? Zero touch enrollment usually works on unboxed new devices. An existing device to be transferred to to be partnered with a reseller partner, and I will have to get this checked, but as far as I know that to have your devices enrolled using the zero touch method, it has to be purchased from a reseller partner. They have these prerequisites for you to be eligible to follow the zero touch enrollment process. However, if I'm going to find out more details about it, and I'll get back to you, Jean. Christian, I see your question. Can the permissions be automatically given for company-owned devices? Um, well, it is possible using Scalefusion's Wingman, but again, that was not mentioned because only the devices that are Wingman compatible can use this facility. So yes, not all devices will have the privilege to, the permissions can be automatically given, but yes, devices that are Wingman compatible, that is possible. Well, the permissions that we are talking about are very nominal, and it will not take as long as the permissions do during the normal enrollment process. Um, but still, I see your curiosity along this particular around this particular topic. Let me share more details with you, Christian, separately about how or what exactly happens on the end user's device when it is enrolled using a zero touch enrollment method. I will get back to you definitely. Any more questions? Please raise your questions in the questions tab. It will make it easier for me to put it on the screen. Hi, Ryan. The list of resellers is available in the Android directory. Let me see if I can share it right now. Hello, Dina. There are multiple reseller partners. Cannot define who are those. There is just a list on the Android directory. I will try to put it here in the chat box for you all so that you can access it and save it. Hello, Mershan. Yes, I will share the reseller list link here. I am on it. I've shared the reseller link in the chat box for everyone. You can just save it. Most welcome. Any more questions? Just for your information, you will receive the recording of this webinar. Um, Also, if you have more questions, please feel free to write on success@scalefusion.com. Hi, Maishan. You can check in the list. We generally do not recommend any particular brand or reseller as such, but you can definitely, when you click on the link, you will be able to use the filters region wise and brand wise. I hope that helps. Any more questions? You're most welcome, Dave. You're most welcome, Maishan. I can be here for another 5 minutes. If you guys have any questions, please feel free to write it in the question box. All right. I think there are no more questions. Um, you have the email ID. Please write to us if you have any questions, and one of us from the customer success team will definitely reach out to you with answers and clarifications. Thank you so much for attending the webinar today. Uh, I think I was able to cover up things that were important and necessary for the zero touch enrollment. Thank you again. We'll speak soon on the next webinar. Bye bye. Thanks, Gary. Thanks, Patrick. Thanks, Milena.